Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Hansen, the Vice President for Student Life at the University of Iowa, and welcome you to this session about the student experience for the fall of 2020. I am joined by my colleague, who I'll have introduce herself in just a moment. But first, I just want to share a little bit about what we're going to convey with you today. We're going to share about the student experience plans in a variety of areas. But I want to acknowledge that we are also in a situation where we know the landscape is changing very frequently. And I want to assure the campus community, as well as all of our folks listening and watching out there, that we're continuing to monitor the situation, continuing to plan. And so what we're sharing with you is where we are at this current point, but it's not stagnant or static. We're continuing to monitor and adapt our plans, will adapt our plans as needed. Certainly, I know that we all would love to have certainty. I'm waiting for answers from a K through 12 school about the fall for my youngest, and we're just not in a situation where we can have the certainty that I know we would like to have. But we are excited to welcome students back and to share with you about the plans that we have to ensure that all of our students have a great experience at the University of Iowa. I'll turn it over to my colleague, the Dean of Students, to take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Angie Raines, and I serve as Associate Vice President and Dean of Students. We are so pleased that you could join us today. As Sarah shared, we will be sharing quite a bit about the student experience, but we recognize things are still very fluid. So we look forward to discussing our plans at this time and sharing more. We want to start with a little background, though, on the fall 2020. So Ben, if you could put up that slide. Thank you. All right. So as has been covered in previous forums, the University of Iowa's Step Forward Fall 2020 plan is guided by the Critical Incident Management Team, which is a group of individuals serving in leadership positions within the incident command structure here at the university, also known as ICS. ICS is a component of the National Incident Management System, NIMS, and is recognized as a best practice. It is used in and out of academia per Homeland Security Presidential Directive 5. The UI team is convened in order to lead sections and fulfill specific disaster response roles within the Emergency Operations Center, EOC, in order to manage the incident. Sections include planning, operations, logistics, finance and administration, incident commanders, communications, and health safety officers, just to name a few. The EOC serves as a centralized coordination point, both internally and externally, in response to a disaster or emergency. The UI Critical Incident Management Team was appointed by President Harold. I'm going to turn it over to Sarah, and we will start to share more about the student experience for fall 2020.
Thanks. Next slide, Ben. So we're going to give you an overview and touch on a lot of the key areas that folks have had questions about, including living and dining on campus, student organizations, the cultural centers, fraternity and sorority life, our facilities, recreational facilities, a lot of the areas that students congregate and that we form community, the Iowa Memorial Union, as well as talk a little bit about our expectations for student behavior and compliance. And really, this is kind of one of the critical points, I think. We often say that we're the Hawkeye community, and we have to recognize, I think, more than ever, that our lives are intertwined, and what I do affects you as a member of the Hawkeye community. What one student does affects another student. So we are going to have to recognize our roles in protecting each other for the health of our community. And we are excited to share with you some of the things that we have planned, and excited to see how our community can live up to those expectations.
Next slide, please. Our campus offers many avenues for student support, including student health, university counseling service, student care and assistance, the early intervention team, rape victim advocacy program, student disability services, the Women's Resource and Action Center, and the Multicultural and International Student Support and Engagement team, which we will discuss in more detail in a couple of slides. At this time, though, we wanted to share a little more about the options for support this fall. Student Health will continue to provide services for students online and in person as appropriate and necessary in order to meet the healthcare needs of students in accordance with university and public health guidance. Student Health will also collaborate with Johnson County Public Health to assist with testing, contact tracing, and isolation of students diagnosed with or exposed to COVID-19. University Counseling Service will continue to provide services to students online and in person. They are providing online services to students in 8 states and Washington, D.C. at this time, and they will be working on their return to campus plan throughout this summer and plan to implement a physical distancing plan for the office and the counseling environment in order to avoid any interruption to any of their services. UCS will also restart their group counseling this fall. Group members will meet online via Zoom while UCS group facilitators guide the conversation. They also offer many online resources, so we encourage you to check out their website for more information. Student Care and Assistance will continue to provide support, assistance, and respond to students who encounter a crisis or emergency situation at any time throughout the academic year or during the summer. Student emergency funds, although limited, will also be available for fall semester. The early intervention team will continue to coordinate care, support, and resource referrals for students who need additional support in and out of the classroom. The Rape Victim Advocacy Program, Student Disability Services, and Women's Resource and Action Center will all continue to provide services, programs, and support for students online and as appropriate and in accordance with university and public health guidance, potentially in one-on-one and in-person settings. Next slide, Ben.
So probably the most common area of questions that we receive right now is about living on campus. And we know that students are making their room selection, and our great team in housing and dining is taking care of students in making those selections. So we will have a lot of changes with regard to housing and dining, but we're excited about the opportunities that we're going to be able to provide. So on-campus housing options will primarily be focused on double occupancy rooms in our residence halls with one roommate. Single rooms are quite limited throughout our inventory, but some are available. Our housing professional staff, resident assistants, and on-campus students will work collaboratively to create a living, learning environment. RAs will be present in the residence halls on the residence hall floors and available to support students. And RAs, of course, will be provided with the appropriate protective equipment to support them in their jobs. Our common spaces in the residence halls, including dining areas, will be set up and reconfigured to adhere to the guidance around sizes of gatherings and to adhere to the guidance around social distancing. We also have a restriction on visitors for the fall, including one visitor per guest, one guest per resident at one time, and visitors and guests must wear a face covering in all of the public spaces. We will have residence hall rooms that will be set aside for emergency use, such as illness, student interaction concerns, or other matters per protocol. We also have floors that have been designated in several halls for students to isolate in the event that they test positive for COVID-19. We will also use the custodial procedures and cleaning procedures that the CDC recommends. We have the asset of a really top quality, high quality, highly trained leadership team within our custodial and maintenance area in housing and dining. And we have several folks who are trained at the national level on the most recent COVID cleaning protocols. So we will be adhering to all of those and have that great benefit of that expertise. Our move-in process and dates will be different this year. So move-in will be Monday, August 17th through Friday, August 21st. We will not use the large number of volunteers that we've used in the past. We will use a similar process to what was used for those folks that might have been around in the spring when we moved folks out. So it will be spaced over more days. There will be assigned times. We will clean carts before and after use, limit the numbers of people in any spaces, including hallways and elevators, and clean the frequent touch points on a regular basis. There are a couple of common questions that folks have had around residence halls and housing. One is about the contract and the binding date of the contract. So once room selection has occurred, and that's occurring this month, students are sent their housing contract. They have 7 days before the contract becomes binding. Students will have that binding date before which they can cancel without financial penalty. And after the contract binding date, we will consider requests for release in accordance with the terms of the and contract conditions. Another question is whether if a roommate contracts COVID, does that mean that the roommate of that person has to go into quarantine? And that certainly depends on the situation and timing, as everyone knows that there are a variety of criteria associated with that. If you've been in close contact with someone for more than 15 minutes around the time that they tested positive, you would need to quarantine. Johnson County Public Health is the group that manages the contact tracing and that would reach out to folks who are affected, and the university will provide support for you during any of that time. Next slide, talk a little bit about dining. So we will still be providing dining within the residence halls. It will just look a little bit different. We'll have dine-in and takeout options, including a reservation system for dine-in. We will have touchless payment, so there won't be any need for staff to handle IDs or credit cards. There will also be the cleaning and disinfecting protocols, spacing of tables, limitation of number of chairs at tables, self-screening of employees following public health and university guidelines. In the marketplaces, the tables will be moved to 6 feet of separation. We'll have customer counts or student counts, patron counts monitored and controlled to prevent crowding. We won't have any self-service food. Everything will be served to students upon request. Physical barriers will be added to at least 6 vertical feet to minimize contact between the staff and students. Signage, directional signage, floor stickers will be used to encourage the distancing for those that are waiting at stations or waiting for entry. The online ordering system will include a pickup location, various pickup locations, and those will be distanced from other folks that might be waiting to enter the marketplaces. We also have, as folks know, a variety of retail outlets across campus, and access will be monitored at all of those as well and controlled to facilitate social distancing. Each location will have designated entries and exits. Online ordering will be available and encouraged. We'll use physical barriers, as I spoke of before. No self-service food there either, so menu items will be served to you at your request. Locations where we can't establish social distancing will not be open. That would also include our Street Hawk food truck, unfortunately. Very popular, but we can't adhere to social distancing with that layout, so we won't be able to have that open for everyone's safety. We also won't have any refillable containers so that we can keep the highest sanitation levels possible. Next slide.
So now we want to share a little bit about student clubs and organizations. The university developed guidance for student organizations and campus regarding hosting events, meetings, and outside gatherings. The guidance includes following public health and university guidance regarding density, protective equipment, and face coverings, large gathering limitations, and social distancing. Programs, events, or meetings with 50 or more students or individuals will be held in a virtual format. Opportunities for hybrid engagement will be provided and encouraged through online meetings and online events or programs similar to how they were at the end of the spring 2020 semester. Collaborations with academic affairs and campus partners will create and sustain engagement opportunities, including service learning opportunities. Support and engagement advising for student organizations will be provided by the Leadership Service and Civic Engagement Team, Student Engagement and Campus Programs Team, and the Fraternity and Sorority Life Team. More detailed information is available at leadandserve.uiowa.edu/fall2020. One of the frequently asked questions we've been receiving in this time has been, will students still be able to participate in student organizations? Yes, we strongly encourage our students to engage in student organizations. We empower our students to find organizations of interest, of purpose, and of areas of growth. We also ask the students look at the variety of options available and find organizations that allow them to meet new people, challenge ideas, and learn from one another. We know that this will be a very different time, but all student organizations and clubs will be expected to follow public health and university guidance regarding density, social distancing, large gathering, and face coverings. But that doesn't mean that we can't continue to engage and be together throughout the fall semester. Next slide, please. Fraternity and sorority life. There have been many questions about this as well. Fraternity and sorority life recruitment will be virtual this fall semester in order to comply with university guidance. Students will be encouraged to connect with chapters virtually, and our fraternity and sorority life councils and staff members will be providing options for students to remain engaged throughout the fall semester. We've also had questions regarding our houses. Fraternity and sorority homes are privately owned, similar to off-campus apartment buildings. We shared the university guidance regarding our plans for health and safety measures on campus with the housing corporations that own the Greek houses, but the decisions regarding their response, in particular related to isolation and quarantine, lay with those corporations and those owners. We encourage students to reach out to staff members or members of the housing corporations if there are concerns or questions regarding the response or how they will be managing this fall semester. If there are additional questions regarding fraternity and sorority life, we encourage you to connect with Fraternity and Sorority Life at uifsl@uiowa.edu. Next slide, please.
So I wanted to share a little bit about the amazing work of our multicultural and international student support and engagement team. And this group of staff and student staff run the cultural centers on campus. Our cultural centers are an incredible place of engagement and belonging and connection for a variety of students. And our centers will follow public health and university guidance regarding the density, use of protective equipment and face coverings, a limitation on gathering sizes, social distancing, those kinds of things. We will continue to provide programs and events. Those will follow the university guidance. Our cultural centers have done an incredible job since March in doing an amazing amount of online engagement, and they will continue to do that as well. Staff will provide opportunities for hybrid engagement through meetings and online events and programs. Each of the cultural centers has a kitchen, but we won't be able to allow food cooked or served by students and staff to be used within the centers. So any food that's provided as a part of any events will have to be provided by university catering or another vendor per university guidance. We'll use the CDC custodial guidelines again to maintain the centers, and we'll have that typical signage and density restriction guidance for common areas. But we hope that folks will still be able to use the centers and connect, form connections, participate in some of the amazing programming, and meet folks from all over the world. Next slide.
So we are making preparations to reopen recreational services areas and facilities throughout July and August. Right now, on July 13th, the Hawkeye Rec Fields, McBride Nature Recreation Area, the outdoor basketball courts, and the rugby and cricket fields will reopen. On July 20th, the Campus Rec and Wellness Center, also known as the CRWC, the Field House, the Hawkeye Softball Complex, and the Hawkeye Tennis and Recreational Complex will be planned to reopen. And then we plan to reopen on August 24th, Fitness East, the Outdoor Rental Center, and the UI Challenge course. In addition to following public health and university guidance regarding protective equipment, social distancing, and cleaning, the department will take additional measures to limit exposure to COVID-19 in its facilities, including spacing machines and equipment and participants at a social distance or 6 feet apart. They will expect face coverings in their indoor facilities. They will set density restrictions. They will mark workout areas to show the appropriate physical or social distance. They will be adding signage to remind members to use hand sanitizer upon entry and exit. They will wipe down the equipment before and after use, and they will be abiding by the social distancing guidelines set by the university. They will also be training team members on new cleaning protocols, including wiping down equipment whenever a patron fails to do so after a use. They will be educating patrons on additional cleaning expectations of them. They will be cleaning common touch points on machines and equipment multiple times a day, and they will be pre-cleaning and disinfecting all equipment prior to opening activity rooms. Given the fluid nature of the situation, plans are subject to change, so more detailed information on recreational services phased reopening can be viewed on their COVID-19 webpage at recserve.uiowa.edu. Next slide, please.
So the IMU is really the heart of campus and is such a gathering space. It will provide a hybrid experience within the IMU. The expectations will be similar to other really to all campus buildings in terms of a use of face coverings, limitations on density, social distancing, and limitations on the large gatherings. So we'll maintain those same standards within the IMU. The bookstore, the Hawk Shop, is a huge part of why students particularly visit the IMU. We'll provide online ordering as well as pickup options for textbooks and Iowa Hawk Shop materials, including drive up and in-person options for getting your needed materials and Hawkeye gear. We'll have limited seating within lounge spaces like the River Room, the Hawkeye, in order to promote social distancing and maintain those density requirements. We have, as many folks know, workstations and computer labs and a learning commons within the building, and ITS is working with us to develop a plan to create distance between those workstations for safety. We are very heavily partnering with classroom scheduling, knowing that if you took part in the academic session earlier, you know that we are focused on ensuring that those in-person classes can be done in a safe way. So we have wanted to make sure that we are a partner in that, and the IMU is partnering with classroom scheduling regarding the use of many of the meeting room spaces in our building in order to make sure that we can provide as much classroom space for those smaller classes as possible. We're also partnering with academic support and retention to ensure that social distancing is available for students who attend supplemental instruction in the Academic Resource Center, and our partners in academic support and retention will continue to also provide learning opportunities. The Iowa House Hotel, which is located in the Iowa Memorial Union, will be used for emergency stays and isolation cases as appropriate and needed. Social distancing will be implemented among the reserved rooms to limit engagement in the hallways and elevators. The cleaning guidance that we've mentioned before for hotels will be followed. And breakfast options or food options will be limited in order to adhere to those guidelines. We have two other great services within the IMU that I wanted to mention specifically, and these were student-started and student-guided services that I think demonstrate the great social action nature of our Hawkeye students. So the Food Pantry at Iowa has continued to operate since March all the way through the summer, and will continue to operate using a reservation system, limiting the number of individuals who are present, but allowing a touchless pickup of food, which they've been able to do very successfully throughout this summer. Donations will be accepted at the front desk of the Iowa House Hotel for folks that want to help out, starting with the fall 2020 semester. Based on need. And it's been amazing to see the food pantry to continue to support so many of our folks who have food insecurity during this time. We also have a clothing closet that will operate with a sign-up process similar to the food pantry, and custodial procedures for that area will follow the CDC guidance. As I mentioned with some of the other things, we'll use all of the same signage and guidance around hallways, elevators, restrooms, entrance and exit, and kind of flow through the building for the IMU as well. Next slide, please.
So one of the many questions and concerns that we've heard is, how will we ensure accountability with the guidance? The Code of Student Life and Student Misconduct Procedure includes rules and procedures regarding student behavior, expectations, and accountability that help reduce the spread of COVID-19 and maintain a healthy campus environment. We'll be utilizing a student agreement regarding expectations for compliance similar to the employee agreement, and require submission prior to the start of the fall 2020 semester to increase accountability. This agreement will be delivered in combination with the training that will be provided to students starting in August. Accountability will be community-based. It is on all of us to create the culture. Individuals noticing violations of the procedures outlined in the student agreement should strive to be respectful to community members when communicating the policy. Additionally, community members are expected to adhere to the policy and likewise be respectful to community members who are communicating those procedures to them. Enforcement of these procedures and expectations will be achieved primarily through education, awareness, and providing support to those who attempt to fulfill the procedures required to return to campus. The university's primary goal is to achieve voluntary compliance with COVID-19 related expectations by educating students, faculty, staff, and visitors about the requirements and providing resources to ensure that everyone can be successful in this environment. We intend for enforcement and accountability to be a positive initial experience, highlighting a healthy campus culture and instilling a culture of peer-to-peer empowerment to remind campus of the expectations. Next slide, please.
So just to reiterate, with regard to some of the key questions that we've received, the first question is about will people be required to wear masks? We use the word mask, but it really means a face covering, and it can be a cloth covering, a disposable, a cloth mask, a face shield, a gaiter. There's different things that folks can use. And the answer is yes, 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 and yes. We have to expect this of each other and of our community if we want to be together on campus. And so I think this is one of the places where, as Hawkeyes, if we really are a community, we have to be willing to be a little bit inconvenienced for the common good. And so this will be an expectation right from the beginning, and we will depend on each other to hold each other accountable. Next slide, please. A couple of other questions that we want to make sure that we answer. Question about when we go online after Thanksgiving, do we still need to pay for room and board? So we will move to online instruction after Thanksgiving, beginning November 30th, and final exams will be delivered remotely. Clinical and experiential activities will still be addressed on a program by program basis. However, campus, including housing and dining, will remain open to serve those who rely on university services. As a result, we don't anticipate any reductions in housing and dining rates. We'll continue to work with students with documented needs or allowable cancellation reasons as defined by the contracts. And in the event that University Housing and Dining asks students not to return after the Thanksgiving holiday, we'd have additional information regarding operations and potential financial impact at that time. Another question is about the procedures to regulate visitors. So residents will be asked to escort their visitors into the halls. And this is a similar process of mutual accountability. Residents will be asked to deal individually with any violations, and we will, between the staff, the students, the resident assistants, hold each other accountable for upholding that standard and keeping each other safe. And then finally, Angie mentioned the rec facilities, that those plan to be open with all the guidelines that we've already shared. Next slide.
So Sarah touched on dining a little bit earlier, but one of the common questions we're receiving is how will Dining Marketplace be able to adhere to the new guidelines? University dining is aligned with public health guidance and working diligently to continue to provide quality dining and food experiences across campus within the marketplaces, the food cafes, and the convenience stores. So as we've discussed earlier, all self-service food has been discontinued and menu items will be served to students upon request. Signage and stanchions will be used to provide traffic flow, and spaces will be reconfigured to support social distancing. And online ordering will be available, and pickup locations will be appropriately distanced during that time. So we're hopeful that these options will continue to provide the experience and the quality that our students, staff, and faculty are used to. And we will continue to review guidance and public health measures as they come out to ensure that we align with them. Next slide, please. Another question is, if I learn that all of my courses will be held online, will I be released from my housing contract? Students who learn that all their courses will be held online will be supported by housing and dining on a case-by-case basis. In the event a student has a housing contract and wants to stay home because they learned all of their classes will be taught virtually, they may be released from their housing contract. But again, that is a case-by-case basis, and they will need to consult with the housing and dining staff. The student can request a release in writing by submitting a form that can be found on the housing.uiowa.edu website, and the situation will be reviewed as an extenuating circumstance prior to move-in. Next slide, please.
We want to thank you for joining us today and for submitting the questions that you shared as well. And really just for being a part of the Hawkeye community as we navigate these plans for the on-campus student experience and in this really challenging and dynamic time. I appreciate your interest in continuing to be a part of the Hawkeye community and your excitement about that. It's been amazing to monitor and see all the excitement that students have for joining us. And as a reminder, additional information regarding the Steps Forward Fall 2020 plan is available at coronavirus.uiowa.edu. And if you have additional questions, you can contact coronavirusquestions@uiowa.edu. So thank you. Take care of yourself and others. On Iowa, go Hawks.